Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
You're here because you want to get smart, fast.
And today, we're jumping into a topic that, well, let's just say it generates some curiosity.
Right. We got this guide sent in by a listener, How to Perform Great Cunnilingus, Female Oral Sex, by Eric Sams.
Yeah, no beating around the bush with this one. It's aimed squarely at understanding how to give significant pleasure orally.
Exactly. So our mission today, pull out the core insights, the stuff that really makes you think, okay, I get that. We want those aha moments.
Sort of a shortcut to the good stuff in the guide.
Precisely. Ready to dive in? Let's start with the foundation. The guide sets up the mindset, the whole approach.
Absolutely. And right away, what's striking is how upfront it is. It says, point blank, pleasing a woman sexually. It takes learning, it takes skill.
It's not just instinct then.
Not according to this, no.
Okay.
It really stresses that female desire is complex. It's not, a simple on-off switch.
Okay, so acknowledging the complexity is step one.
Pretty much.
So the first chapter is called the seduction, and it seems like it's about way more than just the physical act itself.
Oh, definitely. It lays a lot of groundwork. It talks about attraction, both emotional connection and physical appeal and respect, and creating a relaxed atmosphere.
Like prerequisites. You need these things before you even think about intimacy.
That's the vibe, yeah. It's about the whole picture, the whole experience you're trying to create, not just the mechanics.
Right, and then it gets pretty practical about physical traits.
It does. It goes into like a daily routine. Showering, brushing, flossing, mouthwash.
The basics, but framed as important for attraction.
Yeah, and cologne, trimmed facial hair, a decent haircut, clean clothes, short nails, almost like a checklist.
It feels like the message is about showing attention to detail, showing you care, which probably translates right.
You'd think so. And then it moves beyond the physical to personality.
Humor, intelligence, being thoughtful, compassionate.
And overcoming shyness, but also avoiding arrogance. That balance.
Finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
It says women pick up on a lot in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what the guide claims. 10 minutes. It's pretty quick.
So even if you're not like a movie star or super wealthy.
Right. The guide suggests developing a seductive, magnetic, and engaging personality can really compensate.
Okay, so what traits does it highlight?
Well, confidence is big, but the balanced kind, not aggressive.
Makes sense.
Good manners, obviously. A sense of humor, though, it adds a little note that humor isn't always easy to just develop.
True enough. What else?
Showing appreciation, being considerate, actually asking about her, showing interest in her as a person.
Not just a potential partner.
Exactly. Warmth, sensuality, like through gentle touch, but watching her response. Being aware of her moods, her needs.
And being genuine. That seems to come up a lot.
It does. Authenticity is key,
Yeah.
which ties back to that respect point earlier. No facades.
Okay, then it shifts the body language. Nonverbal communication.
Huge part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
How you carry yourself.
What tips does it give for looking strong and confident?
Things like relaxed, upright posture, confident eye contact, not staring but not looking away constantly either.
Right.
Slow, deep breaths, speaking at a measured pace, avoiding nervous habits, like fidgeting.
Okay, projecting composure. And then specifically for sexual appeal.
This is where it gets interesting. It suggests stuff like hands in pockets, but with the thumbs out. Apparently that draws attention subtly.
Thumbs out. Okay. Weirdly specific.
Isn't it? And holding eye contact for about 4.5 seconds, it claims that specific duration can trigger responses.
4.5 seconds. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like it signals real interest, not just a quick glance. And preening gestures, fixing your hair, adjusting clothes.
Showing you care about your appearance. Makes sense.
And maintaining a relaxed aura. Being calm is attractive, basically.
And the final point there.
Oh, yeah. Simple, but crucial. Always look and smell good. It links sent directly to emotions. Good smell, good attention. Bad smell.
Gets attention for the wrong reasons. Got it.
Which leads us right into chapter 2. Give her waves of pleasure and stimulation, shifting gears to actually building desire.
Okay. How does it frame that?
It introduces this thing called the Great Lover Mantra. Appreciation plus physical appeal, sexual attraction, then sexual attraction plus relaxation, sexual desire.
So desire comes after attraction and relaxation. Logical.
Yeah, it's a clear formula. You got to cultivate the desire first.
And how does it suggest doing that? Stirring desire?
Gives a few tips, genuine compliments, Complete focus on her, really appreciating her body.
Making her feel seen.
Exactly.
Uh,
Telling her what you'd love to do. Sharing some vulnerability to build trust. Maybe sharing healthy fantasies. Keeping it fun, light, avoiding negativity.
It sounds like building a really positive sort of charged connection.
That's the goal. Make her feel valued, desired, on multiple levels. Then it circles back to relaxation being key for arousal.
Right, relaxation again. And then foreplay techniques.
Yeah. Kissing gets a fair bit of attention. It even mentions the Kama Sutra listing 19 types.
19. Wow.
The advice is pretty practical, though. Start gently, watch her signals, increase intensity as she gets more aroused.
And cautions?
Yeah, don't use too much pressure, don't bite too hard, avoid being overly slobbery. Good general advice, really.
Definitely. What's next? Massage.
Yep. Positioned as great for relaxation and setting a sensual mood. Suggests scented oils.
Any specific techniques?
It mentions massaging towards the heart. So legs up towards the heart, on the back, spine up to the neck, then down the arms.
Okay. And safety notes.
Important ones. Avoid bruised skin. Check with a doctor if she's pregnant. Use good quality organic oils, lists olive, almond, macadamia, sesame.
Do practical stuff.
For sure. Ensures comfort and safety.
Then teasing. This sounds interesting.
Yeah, it really talks up the power of anticipation. Holding back a bit after giving some pleasure to build excitement.
Like the example with licking.
Exactly. Lick her abdomen, thighs, maybe a slow lick between her legs, then pull back. Create that tension.
It introduces arousal algebra.
Yeah. Attraction plus pleasure plus obstacles. Excitement. That's a neat way to put it.
That element of holding back really amps things up.
Taps into the psychology of it, the
Yeah.
journey.
Okay, then there's a section on lesbian seduction secrets.
Yeah.
What stands out there?
The time factor, mainly. It suggests much longer foreplay, like 90 minutes up to 2 hours.
Wow, that's significant. Why?
The idea is women often warm up more gradually, so dedicating that time, creating a really seductive mood, candles, music, snacks can be super effective.
Patience and savoring the buildup.
Pretty much. And communication is huge here too. Learning what she specifically likes, because everyone's different.
Makes sense. It mentions rubbing.
Yeah, vulva to vulva rubbing. Highlights the nerve endings there. And notes she might be hesitant to initiate, so encourages, taking lead or asking.
Open communication again.
Right.
Crucial.
Absolutely.
Mutual exploration.
And the last bit in that section, licking the crotch. As teasing, yeah. Looking or nibbling around her underwear before removing them. Building that anticipation until she's clearly aroused. Then slowly taking them off.
Making her really want it. That build-up theme again.
Keeps coming back to it. Heightened sensitivity before direct stimulation.
Okay, chapter 3. Preparing her between the legs essential tips. Where does it start?
Kind of reiterates the earlier points. Relax the whole body first. Keep teasing. Build excitement. And a big warning. Don't apply too much pressure too soon.
Why not?
Can cause discomfort or even numbness. Definitely counterproductive. Sensitivity varies a lot.
Good point. What else?
Complimenting her body. Acknowledging potential body image concerns. That positive affirmation is important.
And not just focusing solely on the genitals.
Right. Move back up. Face, stomach, breasts, then return. Notes the first couple inches inside the vagina are extra sensitive.
Interesting tip about leaving some clothes on.
Yeah, adds variety. Maybe a top, skirt, stockings. Also advises steady pressure, firm but gentle tongue strokes initially, not the fast flicking stuff often seen in porn.
Right. Porn isn't reality. What about it as she gets more aroused?
Suggests gently caressing her buttocks, maybe inserting a finger gently, and watching her body language, her rhythm, deeper breathing, legs opening wider. Those are the cues.
Okay, paying attention. Then it gets into the G-spot and clitoris. Calls the clit almighty.
Yeah. Describes its huge nerve network. Mentions Helen O'Connell's research on its size. Notes how the clitoral hood retracts on arousal, making the whole area more sensitive.
So understanding the anatomy is key.
Absolutely. Highlights the clitoris as the main pleasure source for most women because of all those nerve endings.
Yeah, the G-spot. How's that described?
As a small bump, top wall inside the vagina, believed to be connected to the clitoris's internal roots.
Less sensitive than the tip.
Generally, yeah. Responds best to rhythmic massage, but it mentions that stimulating it too early without enough arousal might feel like needing to pee.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
But when aroused, it can lead to deeper, more diffuse orgasms. Advice is always ask for feedback, start light, mentions toys, and using fingers too.
That urge to pee thing is an important detail. Shows the need for a gentle start.
Definitely.
Then, essential information when going down starts with You are an artist.
Yeah, emphasizing the intimacy, the focus, makes her feel really attended to. Then, prim and proper hygiene again. Non-negotiable.
Shower or bath together, the water baby idea.
Suggests it for relaxation, especially for beginners or if someone's nervous.
Makes sense. Get comfortable using pillows.
Yeah, support her legs. Avoids neck strain for the giver, groin strain for her. Encourages trying different positions.
Practical comfort tips for both people.
Totally. Creates a better environment for enjoyment.
Slow and steady is better.
Cautioning against rushing.
Big time. Don't overwhelm the sensitive vulva. Build pleasure in layers. Explore the whole terrain.
Not just fixating on the clit.
Exactly. Inner thighs, labia, perineum, vaginal opening. Occasionally insert the tongue tip.
Using hands, too.
Adjust lifting her buttocks towards your mouth while licking. Stroking nipples. Maybe inserting a finger. With that warning about bacteria transfer from anus to vagina.
Crucial hygiene point, yes. If anal play is involved.
Okay. Use your whole tongue.
Flatten it out. Lick like an ice cream cone. Not sharp, stabbing motions.
Got it. And timing isn't everything.
Reassuring point. Women often take longer. Don't stress about the orgasm. Change pace, position, add kissing, touching elsewhere.
Let it happen naturally.
Exactly. And the golden rule. Communication is key. Experiment, ask for feedback, practice.
And maintain eye contact.
Yeah, looking into her eyes while teasing can be super stimulating, apparently. Deepens the connection.
Okay, foundation laid. Chapter 4. Making the move. Turbocharged tongue advanced techniques.
Right, getting into more specific stuff now. Variations on basics first, then advanced techniques.
Like direct clitoral stimulation.
Yeah. Gently pushing back the clitoral hood to expose the tip. Advises starting slow, gentle sucking, licking side to side, up, down, figure eights, gradually increase pressure.
Exposing that highly sensitive part.
Exactly, but gently.
It mentions exposing it without hands. Using teeth.
Very gently, yes, but adds a big caution. Takes practice.
I bet. What's the alternative?
Enveloping the clit with your mouth after parting the labia, then using tongue movement circles, figure eights, gentle sucking.
Again, emphasis on asking what she likes.
Always. And remembering direct stimulation is usually best after she's already aroused. Avoids discomfort.
Okay. The connoisseur or advanced section, aiming for longer sessions.
Yeah, like over 30 minutes. Increasing intensity as desire grows. Suggest maybe adding a finger or vibrator while using your mouth.
Multitasking.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Gently stretching the skin around the clit for more sensation. Maybe pushing back the hood after, say, 20 minutes of stimulation.
Maintaining rhythm, but adding variety.
Yes. Different tongue patterns, brief rests, licking inner lips, vagina, stomach, sucking the clit. And mentions after orgasm, a 10-15 minute break allows sensitivity to reset before maybe continuing faster.
Okay, nuances for extended play. What about G-spot massage during oral?
Says after 10-15 minutes of arousal, vaginal tissue swells, feels tighter. Then advises inserting fingers deeper, using rhythmic motions, left, right, up, down, circles. Gradually increase pressure and pace.
So deeper rhythmic pressure, but only when she's really aroused.
That's the key takeaway.
Ménage à trois. Is that literal?
No, not necessarily. It's using that term to talk about involving the anus, if she likes it, rubbing the area, maybe inserting a pinky.
But with a huge emphasis on permission.
Absolutely non-negotiable. Explicit consent needed for any anal play. Also note she might self-stimulate during this too.
Right. Consent first, always. Now that big list. 30 cunnilingus tips and techniques women wish you knew.
Yeah, this is like gold dust. Direct feedback from women.
What are some highlights?
Smooth, steady, slow, rhythmic licks seem popular. Playfully spelling messages with the tongue. Using chilled breath after ice.
Creative stuff.
Knowing her sensitivity level. G-spot stimulation. Holding legs comfortably wide. Starting slow with eye contact and maybe soft moans yourself.
Understanding pressure varies. Avoid pointed tongue-hard flicks. Continue what works if she's moaning.
Right. Gentle finger insertion after oral. Asking for feedback, constant theme. Finger play while licking.
Using nose, breath, enjoying the sounds, not biting. Gentle sucking on vaginal lips.
That tongue-fucking teasing idea, needing to be very aroused before you start oral. Teasing and pleasing, using the whole face.
Dirty talk if she consents. Complimenting her appearance down there. Clit finger combos. Not changing technique without asking.
Huge one, that. And the giver enjoying it is important too. Grasping rolling clit with the mouth. Humming. Consistent rhythm, but ask first.
Wow. That's a ton of actionable advice.
An incredibly valuable list, yeah.
Yeah.
Shows how personal preference is key.
And the Kama Sutra techniques.
A few examples. Quivering kiss, pinching kissing labia, circling hung, using nose, lips, chin, tongue massage, resting tongue, sucking technique, stirring, woman opens thighs wide, and the crow, origin of 69.
Fascinating that these ancient texts covered this.
Shows some things about pleasure are pretty timeless.
Okay, chapter 5 is just noted as being about positions. Sure. So moving to chapter 6, rimming.
Right. Oral sex on the anus and surrounding area notes the sensitivity due to nerves, but also that it's not for everyone.
Definitely a personal preference thing. How does it suggest approaching it?
Starts with sphincter massage, maybe fingering. Rimming is the next step, delicate touching, kissing, licking, sucking, light to medium pressure. Teasing with the tongue, circular motions.
And the rimming rules. Hygiene must be huge here.
Absolutely paramount. Wash it is rule number 1. List potential bacteria, viruses, parasites, infections, serious stuff.
And no transferring fluids.
Big warning, don't go from anus back to clit vulva mouth. Risk of E. coli, other infections.
How to minimize risks.
Barriers, dental dams, cut unlubricated condoms. Suggest plastic wrap might have holes, though. Vaccination for Hep A and B is also advised.
Very important safety considerations. Needs a careful, respectful approach.
Completely. Hygiene and safety first.
Chapter 7, female ejaculation. What's the take here?
Explains the theory prolonged G-spot stimulation leading to fluid release from the urethra. Notes the fluid composition. Also mentions some women might just urinate during orgasm.
But the key message.
It emphasizes that orgasm and ejaculation are complex, shouldn't be the sole goal. Pleasure and connection matter most, regardless of ejaculation.
Balanced perspective. It's about enjoyment, not performance.
Exactly.
Chapter 8, selling the sizzle. Sounds like enhancing the experience further.
Yeah, post-oral sex ideas. Mentions various positions, referencing Kama Sutra again, then dives into fantasy.
How does it frame fantasy?
As tapping into subconscious desires. Lists common female fantasies, sex with partner, oral, romance, forbidden acts, submission dominance, reliving things, being irresistible, new positions.
And gives role-play examples.
Yep. Nurse-patient, teacher-student, power dynamics like boss-employee, politician-researcher. Even mentions a cigar in that last one. Bit cheeky.
What else?
Using food, chocolate, syrup, ice cream. Power toys for dom subplay. Changing location, different rooms, hotel, office, shower, car.
Location definitely affects mood.
For sure. Enclosed professional attire as a stimulant, partial undressing, costumes. Lots of ideas to spice things up.
Okay, lots of creative options.
Yeah.
Now, chapter 9. What you have to avoid at all costs. This sounds critical.
It is. Using creativity but maintaining care lists common mistakes.
Like trying to be a performer.
Yeah. Focus on her pleasure, not your goal of making her orgasm. Stressing about it can actually prevent it. Great pleasure is possible without orgasm anyway.
Good reminder. What else to avoid?
Not knowing the anatomy. Basic understanding is crucial, especially the clitoris. Going for the jugular, avoid hitting the vagina immediately. Warm-up needed, usually around 20 minutes.
Rushing is bad.
Very bad. Discourages desire. Not enough communication. Verbal and nonverbal cues are key. Pay attention to moans, legs widening, hip movements, breathing, tensing. Ask what she likes.
What's the rush? Again, reinforces taking time.
Devotion and time beat speed. Explore thoroughly. Vary pace.
The clitoris is certainly part of her body. What's that mean?
Don't only focus on the clit vagina. Address complaints about that. Massage breasts, caress thighs, lift buttocks, tease pubic hair, engage the whole person.
Makes sense. Lack of hygiene.
Fundamental turnoff. Trimmed nails, brushed teeth, dress properly, basic respect.
Lack of creativity. Unsupported legs causing discomfort.
Yeah, variety matters. And make sure she's comfortable, supported. Avoid stress and strain for her.
And clitoral cramp.
Prolonged, intense licking without communication or breaks can actually cause fatigue or cramp there. Need be mindful.
So basically, avoid being clueless, rushed, uncommunicative, unhygienic, or boring.
That sums it up pretty well. It reinforces all the good advice by showing the flip side.
Chapter 10. Safe oral sex tips.
Acknowledges it's generally lower risk than vaginal for HIV, but precautions are still needed for STIs.
Which ones?
Gonorrhea, herpes, syphilis can be transmitted relatively easily orally. HIV risk is low unless there are cut sores in the mouth, but not zero. Use barriers, dental dams, cut condoms, plastic wrap, Pure Health Saran Wrap mention. Always use a barrier if unsure. Good oral hygiene. Fewer partners preferable. Avoid oral during her period.
Standard safe sex advice. Adapted for oral. Important stuff.
Definitely crucial for minimizing risks.
Okay, finally, chapter 11. parting words.
Yeah, kind of wraps it all up. Summarizes the deep dive into understanding arousal and the art of cunnilingus.
Encourages applying the techniques.
Yes, reiterates oral sex as powerful for communication, pleasure, intimacy. Suggests mastering this stuff contributes to being a perfect lover.
High par?
Yeah, maybe. But the point is about striving for understanding and connection. Hopes the info leads to memorable experiences.
It really comes back to understanding, communication, and achieving pleasure and intimacy.
Those are the core themes running through the whole guide, absolutely.
Well, learner, that was our deep dive into how to perform great cunnilingus. We tried to pull out the essentials, those insights that stick with you.
Hopefully it felt like a useful shortcut, gave you some of those aha moments without being, too much all at once.
Right. So here's something to mull over.
Hmm.
We talked a lot about intricate details, about paying close attention to pleasure someone this way. What is that focus, that level of attentiveness? Maybe tell us about the importance of attention and empathy in, well, all our connections with people.
Yeah, that's a good question. How does that focused care translate more broadly? Something to think about.
Definitely something to ponder. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.